All right, welcome everyone. This is Bob Maury. It is Tuesday, the 16th of July, around about a little after noonish my time. Want to do a review of the few ongoing strategies, see how things are looking for those. And without further ado, let's hop on over to it. You dial into the portal. You'll have them right here. Click on that. It brings it up. So this will be for the week of July 14. And these are the three strategies. So we got all bear spreads. Top row 311 is rough rice. 312 in the middle is WTI light sweet crude oil. And the bottom row is feeder cattle. 313. The two that we should be in are crude and rice. Still waiting to get in on that feeder cattle 313. Let's hop on over to the chart, see how things are looking. The 311 bear spread in the rough rice. And it looks to me like the market's trying to do what the seasonal would project, which is push lower, but it's doing it in a choppy fashion, which I guess wouldn't be completely out of the question for a market that tends to not have the best liquidity out there. So we see this big trend that started here mid-May, break into the end of May, more sideways consolidation for about a few weeks there, then another leg lower that started a couple weeks ago, and we want this to continue. So we need this thing to break a bit more to get to our first target of negative 29. Got a bit more time on this one, so we're okay in terms of the seasonal window. And at this point, it looks like the only ones that are in this are the more aggressive average in type traders looking to get in somewhere around where it was benchmarked at negative 24 half. The recent high was a couple days ago at negative 20. Recent low was just yesterday at negative 26 and a half. So we got about a 6 cent range. That's 120 bucks so far. And basically, as you can see, into the first third of this seasonal window, more of a choppy action to choppy sideways action. So everything's going to stay as is. Those entry level 2 traders are not filled yet. Level 1 traders are filled, probably sitting with a tiny bit of an unrealized loss at the moment. So we'll see how this one plays out. No changes to this strategy. Second one is the light sweet crude. Strategy number 312. Bear spread. As you can see here, we had level 1 offer at 61, which was about the benchmark. And then level 2 at 69. 2 days ago, we rallied up to 71. So both levels should be filled, obviously giving an average of 65 if you got in at those points. Market made new swing highs here a couple days ago and then failed. So that's not a bad sign. Let's put it that way. And we just need this thing to grind down lower. We still have plenty of time left in this window, about a month or so. So that being the case, it's still got plenty of time to work for us. Hopefully not against us. But market basically had a good little push out of these lows in early part of June, get a really considerable bounce here, and now the seasonal tendency is for it to break in this window. So we just need to kind of falter, run out of steam, and push on down. So currently both traders, well, if you are both traders should be sitting with some level of unrealized gain at the moment, and there is no change to this strategy. So let's hop on over to the final one here in feeder cattle, see how that's looking. So this is a long window of opportunity, as I mentioned in the intro that I did for this one. It goes all the way into the early part of October. And we are looking to get shorts, and our entry levels are up top here at 77 and 122. The best we can do so far after a bit of a dip out of the gate is to revisit the benchmark at about 27 half, and that was exactly today's high, it looks like. So we just need this thing to have some kind of catalyst to push this market up and get us up towards the entry levels up here, and then we wanted to fail on down. So again, it's hard to call this a range because we've got this consolidation up here, then we got a massive break. It took about a week or so, week and a half of trading days, and then bottomed out early part of June. We got this bounce. So perhaps what we'll see is a bit of a range established here at the lower quadrants of the price, the normalized price that it's been so far. I mean, the high's been back here, we'll call it 140, and the low's been here at negative 85. So that's about what, 230 points roughly, give or take, right? We'll call it 240. That'd be a $1,200 range that this spread is in so far based on just the price action to date. So we just need this thing to kind of give us a reason to pop up, or give it a reason to pop up, and then break on down in the direction of the seasonal. Grains have been all over the board. There's been some rather weak days. There's been some bit stronger days. We'll see what happens. The reason I mentioned that is corn tends to be a pretty good inverse relationship with feeder cattle. Not all the time, but in my opinion, many times. And if corn can find a new reason to continue to drive lower, maybe that'll be the catalyst to push this higher. Also, perhaps if the fat cattle continue to receive a pretty good bid right now, cash and the live cattle prices are abnormally wide, let's put it that way. So either the live cattle futures have to move higher, or cash has got to move lower. But if it is the former, then the live cattle prices will push up, and that'll help, I believe, push the feeder cattle market up too. But anyway, I don't want to get into too many of the weeds in terms of those dynamics. But that's the case. Those are a couple scenarios that may have an impact and push this market up. But again, we're not talking about a short window here. We're talking all the way through the early part of October. So we'll just be patient, wait for our fills. No fills yet, no change to the strategy. We'll see how things evolve. All right, so that's where we're sitting. Should be filled in two of the markets, that or two of the strategies, rough rice and crude oil. Not filled yet in the feeder cattle. And again, no changes to the strategy at the moment. All right, so I think that should bring everybody up to speed. If you have any questions, comments, any observations, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to leave it there, and thanks so much for watching.